Active and passive voice. This concept is very wide, or I would say the very interesting as well. Do you guys have any idea regarding active and passive voice? Yes or no? You guys have any idea? If you are clear with this, just type clear. If you are not clear with this, then just raise your hand. If you are clear with this, just type clear. If you are not clear with this, just raise your hand so that I can have an idea, like, are you clear with this or not? Okay. So let's start now. So, okay, guys. Now, left side this is active and the right side this is passive. What's the main difference between active and passive? In active, doer of work is present, or I can say it is active, right? Doer of the work is present, or we can say it's active. In passive, doer of the work is absent or it is inactive. Now, what does it mean? एक्टिव में क्या चीज होती है कि जो डूअर ऑफ द वर्क होता है, डूअर ऑफ वर्क मीन्स काम करने वाला पर्सन, वो प्रेजेंट होता है, या फिर मैं कह सकती हूँ कि वो एक्टिव होता है. एक्टिव का मतलब ये है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ आई से शेक्सपियर रॉट हैमिल्टन, राइट, और सॉरी शेक्सपियर रॉट हेमलेट. तो वी आर कंप्लीटली क्लियर हु रोट हेमलेट. अगर हमें हु का आंसर मिल रहा है, हु रोट हेमलेट, शेक्सपियर, it means this is the active voice. And if I am saying Hamlet was written in, for example, 1814, Hamlet was written in 1814. Now, if I'm asking the question, who wrote Hamlet? Are we getting the answer of this? Yes or no? Are we getting answer of this? Just let me know. Do we know now that who wrote Hamlet? No, अभी हमें author का name नहीं पता. That's why in this case, doer of the work is absent, or I can say it is inactive, right? So that would be the passive voice. Now, for example, I say there were many candidates went to the party, or many candidates were invited to the party, right? One thing is I invited many candidates to the party. मैंने बहुत सारे candidates को party में invite किया. Now, who invited many candidates in the party? I. Subject is there, or I can say doer of the work is present. But if I say many candidates were invited at the party, then can we predict who invited candidates? Yes or no? Clear? Just tell me, are you clear with this concept or not clear? Let's understand it with the help of example. I informed him the fake information, right? कि मैंने उसको fake information inform की. I informed him the fake information. And if I say he was informed fake information, I informed him fake information. If I'm asking the question, who informed him fake information? Who? किसने inform की? The answer is I. And if I am saying he was informed fake information. Now, if we are asking who informed him fake information, We don't know. That's why the answer would be passive. Just let me know in the chat box, are you clear with this or not clear? Are you clear? Difference between active and passive, because it's very important for you to know the difference first. Are you clear with the difference? Just let me know in the chat box. Okay, guys. So now, perfectly fine, perfectly fine. Now we will clear or we'll move on to the next concept. That's the structures. What is the structure now? If we discuss about the tense, this is about all the tenses. This is about the active structure. This is example. This is passive structure. And again, this is example. Now we'll understand everything with the help of the examples. So if we discuss first of all, simple present tense, right? In simple present tense, we use first term of the verb plus SES. I'm repeating, in simple present tense, we use first term of the verb plus SES. For example, they speak English here, right? वो यहाँ पे English बोलते हैं. So if we are asking the question, who speak English here? We are getting the answer. This is they, right? So we have used first term of the verb in the sentence. SES is not there. Why? Because अगर हम लोग यहाँ पे plural लगाते हैं, then SES will not be there. And instead of they, if I use he speaks English here, so if I will be using he, then we will use speaks here. ठीक है? He use करते हैं, she use करते हैं, singular use करते हैं. Singular, like I would say, my friend speaks English here. And if we go to the passive structure, तो passive structure की formation कैसे होती है? Is MR plus past participle. It means is MR plus third form. So if I say English is spoken here, मतलब English यहाँ पे बोली जाती है. English is MR plus third form of the verb. Right? If I say English is spoken here, now can we predict this thing? Who speak English here? यहाँ पे कौन English बोलता है? Can we predict? No. और अगर हम लोग यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, who speak English here? They speak English here या फिर he speak English here. मतलब जहां पे हमें who का आंसर मिल गया, this is active voice, and जहां पे हमें who का आंसर नहीं मिला, this is passive voice. In case of the simple present tense, we have to use the first form in active structure and we have to use the third form in the passive structure. Is-MR is not allowed in active. Is-MR is allowed in passive. Doer of the work. Doer of the work means काम करने वाला person. They is highlighted here. And here doer of the work is inactive. Doer of the work means काम करने वाला person. This thing is not here. So this is the passive structure. Let's move on to the next part. Present progressive. Present progressive का मतलब क्या होता है? Continuity. इसका क्या रूल होगा? Is MR plus first form plus ing. Now they are painting the house. ठीक है, वो अपना घर पेंट कर रहे हैं. Now who are painting the house? Yes, let me know in the chat box who are painting the house. Who are painting the house? Yes, very good. They are painting the house. So we are getting the answer of question that who is painting the house? They are painting the house. And if I go to the passive, what would be the rule? Is MR plus being plus past participle. The house singular है, house के साथ क्या आएगा? Is the house is being painted. मतलब घर पेंट हो रहा है. But who is painting the house? We are not getting the answer of this. So in case if we are getting the answer of our question of who, then it would be the active, and if we are not getting the answer, it would be the passive. Now in present progressive tense, we have to use ismr plus first form plus ing for the active structure, and for the passive, we'll be using ismr plus being plus past participle. Now let's move on to the next concept. This is simple past. In case of simple past, we have to use the second form. If we are using a simple sentence, or I would say an assertive tense, assertive means positive. पॉजिटिव टेंस यूज कर रहे हैं तो सेकंड फॉर्म आएगी, और अगर हम लोग नेगेटिव या इंट्रोगेटिव यूज कर रहे हैं तो डिड प्लस फर्स्ट फॉर्म आएगी. नाउ फॉर एग्जांपल, हियर माय एग्जांपल इट्स अबाउट द नेगेटिव. सो आई वुड से ही डिडंट इनवाइट मी एट द पार्टी. उसने मुझे पार्टी पे इनवाइट नहीं किया, तो आई हैव यूज्ड डिड plus first form. Now, if I ask a question, who didn't invite me at the party? मुझे किसने invite नहीं किया? Here is my answer. He didn't invite me at the party. And if we use a passive structure, we will be using was were plus past participle. Who didn't invite me at the party? I के साथ was, third part past participle invited. I wasn't invited at the party. मुझे पार्टी पे इनवाइट नहीं किया गया. बट किसने इनवाइट नहीं किया? We don't know regarding that. That's why this would be the passive structure. So in case of the simple past, we have to use the second form. If I say he invited me at the party, अगर मैं इसी सेंटेंस को पॉजिटिव में कन्वर्ट करती हूँ तो द आंसर वुड बी he invited me at the party, and the passive structure would be I was invited at the party. But it's a negative. So in case of the negative, we have to use did plus first form of the verb. Or in case of the passive structure, we will use was were plus third form of the verb. Now, let's move on to the next concept, past progressive. In case of the past progressive, we have to use was were plus first form plus ing. I felt somebody was watching me. मुझे लगा कि कोई मुझे देख रहा था. ठीक है? So I felt, if I'm asking the question, it would be I felt who was watching me. Who was watching me? The answer would be somebody, right? So if we are making the same sentence into passive, it would be was were plus being plus past participle. So I felt I was being watched. I felt as it is रहेगा. I was, आई के साथ was आएगा, being plus third form watched. तो मुझे लगा कि मुझे देखा जा रहा था या मुझ पे नजर की जा रही थी. बट who was watching me? नजर कौन रख रहा था? We don't know regarding that. So that would be the example of the passive part. So this here comes the difference. In case of the past progressive, we have to use was were plus first form plus ing for the active structure, and for the passive, we have to use was were plus being plus past participle. It's very important to understand the difference between active and passive structure, which is बहुत important. Now, if we move to the next tense, we have present perfect. Present perfect का क्या रूल होता है? Has have plus past participle. ठीक है? So, have you told Mary? क्या तुमने Mary को बता दिया? Have you told Mary? You के साथ क्या आएगा? Have. If I am using it, or if I am making the same sentence into the positive part, I will say you have told Mary, right? But if I'm asking the question, has have बाहर आ जाएगा? Have you told Mary? So we have has have plus past participle. Now, in case of passive structure, again has have plus been plus past participle. Has Mary been told? क्या मैरी को बताया जा चुका है इसके बारे में? ठीक है, तो इसमें क्या है, बताने वाला पर्सन पहले है और जिसको बताया गया है वो बाद में है. एंड इफ वी कंसीडर हियर, यहाँ पे जिसको बताया गया है वो पहले है और जिसने बताया है उसका पता ही नहीं. हैज मैरी बीन टोल्ड? क्या मैरी को इन्फॉर्म किया जा चुका है, लेकिन मैरी को इन्फॉर्म किसने किया है या मैरी को बताया किसने है वो हमें नहीं पता. ठीक है, सो दिस इज द मेन डिफरेंस. Next one, if we go to the next part, this is past participle. Sorry, past perfect. Past perfect में आता है had plus past participle. It means the third form of the verb. I knew she had forgotten me. मुझे पता था कि वो मुझे भूल चुकी थी. Had plus third form. अब वही भूलने वाला पर्सन पहले. Who had forgotten me? She. ठीक है, और जिसपे एक्शन हुआ है वो बाद में. This is the subject, this is the object. सब्जेक्ट यानी कि काम करने वाला पर्सन, और ऑब्जेक्ट यानी कि जिसपे एक्शन हो रहा है। सो हैड प्लस बीन प्लस पास्ट पार्टिसिपल। आई न्यू आई हैड बीन फॉरगॉटन। मुझे पता था कि मुझे भुलाया जा चुका था। ठीक है, तो किसको भुलाया जा चुका था? आए, लेकिन कौन भूल गया था वो नहीं पता। वही बात है, भूलने वाला पर्सन, सब्जेक्ट जो है उसका पता ही नहीं है, और ऑब्जेक्ट जो है इट्स है। नेक्स्ट वन वी हैव simple future. In case of the simple future, will plus first term of the verb we have to use. I will tell you soon. मैं तुम्हें जल्दी बताऊंगी। ठीक है, कौन मुझे जल्दी बताएगा? Who will tell me soon या who will tell you soon? I. Right. So if we are using it in the passive, we will use will plus be plus past participle. You will be told soon. तुम्हें जल्दी बताया जाएगा। कौन बताएगा? We don't know. I करने वाला, you जिस पे एक्शन हो रहा है, ठीक है, तो उसे बताया तो जाएगा, लेकिन उसे मैं बताऊंगी, वो बताएगा, वो बताएंगे, थर्ड पर्सन बताएगा, डोंट नो। बात तो पता चलेगी, ठीक है, उसी पर्सन को बताया जाएगा, लेकिन उसको इन्फॉर्म किसके द्वारा किया जाएगा वो हमें नहीं पता। नेक्स्ट वन वी हैव फ्यूचर परफेक्ट। इन केस ऑफ फ्यूचर परफेक्ट वी हैव टू यूज विल हैव प्लस पास्ट पार्टिसिपल। आई विल हैव डन एवरीथिंग बाय ट्यूसडे। मैंने ट्यूसडे तक सब कुछ कर लिया होगा। आई विल हैव डन एवरीथिंग बाय ट्यूसडे। ठीक है, तो किसने सब कुछ ट्यूसडे से कर लिया होगा? I. Who will have done everything by Tuesday? We have the answer. It's I. And if I say will have plus been plus past participle in the passive, सब कुछ ट्यूसडे तक हो गया होगा। Everything या सब कुछ ट्यूसडे तक किया जा चुका होगा। Everything will have been done by Tuesday. But who will have done? No idea. Right? Here is the difference. Now going to plus future. Wait. Going to plus future. Going to plus first form of the verb. Who are you going to invite? तुम किसको invite करने वाले हो? Who are you going to invite? Right. So who is going to invite? कौन invite करने वाला है? We know. Going to plus be plus past participle. Who is going to be invited? किसको invite किया जा रहा है? But कौन invite करने लगा उनको वो नहीं पता। So this is the main difference between active and the passive structure. In case of active, doer of the work is present. In case of the passive, doer of the work is absent. Doer of the work means काम करने वाला person. जो काम करने वाला person है वो present है, और दूसरे में जो काम करने वाला person है वो present नहीं है. Now if there is any doubt, just let me know. Tell me in the chat box if you have any doubt, if you have any question. If it is not, then we will start with the practice. Because when we will do more and more practice, then the things will be clear. The use of been and being. Okay. So been basically we have to use in case of the perfect tense, and being we have to use for the progressive tense. Being means basically the difference is same. I won't say the difference is there. Just only thing is it is used for the progressive tense, and this is used for the perfect tense. The main difference. Otherwise, it is also used after the helping verb, and it's also used after the helping verb. There's not any much difference. Being is for the continuity and being is for the perfect, or the action which is already done. For that we use being, and the action which is going on, that is the being. Now, if we see, for example, if I say, I am explaining the concept. Okay, let's understand this with the help of one example. If I say this one, if I use a simple present, I will say, I explain the concept, right? So here I would say, the concept is explained. I explain the concept in class, and the passive would be, you will be told soon by me. This is also a passive voice, but the problem comes up, basically we don't use much by me. हम लोग ये हिंदी में यूज नहीं करते हैं कि तुम्हें ये चीज जल्दी ही बताई जाएगी मेरे द्वारा. So we don't use in basically in Hindi. So if we are not using the same thing in Hindi, then we don't have to use the same thing in English as well. Yes, in case if the subject is different. For example, Shakespeare wrote Hamlet, right? So if it's not about the simple or it's the subject is not understandable, so I will have to mention Hamlet was written by Shakespeare. But another thing is the government must implement the rules, or the government is implementing many rules. If I say the rules are being implemented, so it's completely understood. Like the rules are being implemented by the government only. In case if the subject is already understood, then why to highlight it with the help of the by, which we are not using or which is of no use in case of English. Perfect tense, third form, so been, and continuous tense, first form with ing, so being. Yes, yes, right. With being, obviously we have to use third form, but being will be used in the present progressive, and being is used for the perfect tense. This is the main part. And yes, I will explain now one sentence for the understanding all the tenses. So if I say, I explain the concept of passive voice. Okay, this is for the simple present. I explain the concept of passive voice. The concept of passive voice is explained. Is a mark plus third form. I am explaining the concept of passive voice. The concept of passive voice is being explained. I explained the concept of passive voice. The concept of passive voice was explained. I was explaining the concept of passive voice. The concept of passive voice was being explained. I have explained the concept of passive voice. The concept of passive voice has been explained. I had explained the concept of passive voice. The concept of passive voice had been explained. I will explain the concept of passive voice. The concept of passive voice will be explained. I will have explained the concept of passive voice. The concept of passive voice will have been explained. I'm going to explain the concept of passive voice. The concept of passive voice is going to be explained. Now tell me, are you clear with this or not? I hope it's clear too much now. It's clear very much now. But still, you tell me in the chat box, are you clear with this or not? Clear. Okay. So guys, now we are going to do with the practice. Okay, now we're going to do with the practice, right? Because without practice, obviously, you won't remember it. So now it's your turn. Okay, so we have to find out the passive verbs in the text. What do you have to do? Just find out the passive verbs. I'll give you complete a minute for this. Find out the passive voice. Passive verbs, sorry. And one thing more, take out a screenshot of this so that the rules can be in front of you when you are doing it. Okay, so now let's start. I'll give you complete a minute. Your time starts now. Okay, guys, the time is up. The time is up. So now, this is our answer. One left, was stranded, had been firmly locked in, had not been in danger, and they were given. So now tell me how much you scored out of 5. We had 5 passive verbs today. So how much you scored out of 5? How many you got correct? 5, 5. That's very good. Even if you got less, it's perfectly fine, guys. 5. Very good, very good, very, very good. Right. Now another test. So here, it's you have to write down the passive tenses. Okay, make sure we have to see this thing as well. For example, around 1640, it means the answer would be in past. The Taj Mahal was built around 1640. Okay, so we have to notice this thing as well. For doing this thing, I'll give you complete 3 minutes or 5 minutes. That would be better. Solve these sentences for 5 minutes. Okay, and your time starts now. If you've done this before time, just raise your hand. Okay, guys, the time is up. The time is up. I hope you guys are done now. So, these are the answers. The first is Chinese is spoken in Singapore. Taj Mahal was built around 1640. The new hospital will be open next year. She's being interviewed now. I realized I was being followed. Have you been invited to Andy's party? He found that all his money was stolen. The computers are made in Korea. Passengers were asked not to speak to the driver. The road is being mended. The village church was burnt down last year. A Roman payment was just found under Oxford Street. Out of 12, now let me know what are your scores. How much you scored out of 12? Let me know in the chat box. Just let me know in the chat box how many you scored. 11, that's fine. 8, good. 10, very good. Fine. 7, okay. If there is again some confusion, go through the session again because it will be important. And if you go through the session again, then many things will be completely clear. So guys, I hope the things are completely clear now. You guys, some of you might have been called for the speaking, might have got a call from the speaking, and those who have already got their timings, they will soon get a speaking call again, and they can do their speaking part. And writing task, I'm going to share in the Telegram group, and you can go through from there. Okay, you can do it from there. Right. So now I'm not going to end the session, but I'll just stop the recording and I'm going to send it a task in the Telegram group. And soon you will get a speaking call as well. Right. So, okay, guys, I'll send you the recording. I'll share it very soon before ending the complete session so that you can be completely clear with the things. That's fine, Kuriya. That's good. You guys can go through the recording again, and once when you solve it, then hope the scores will be better. And try to use the passive voice in your writing today. It's very important. Try to use it. Okay, guys, just going to share it. If you want to leave the session, you can. And in case if you want to stay in the session and you want to continue with your writing, even then it's fine. And we'll be back for listening by 9:15. Okay, before that, I'll give you the writing task. Only one writing task I'll give you, task two, so that you can do your speaking also simultaneously. And task one, I'll send you afterwards. Else, you can do task one later on. You can complete your speaking round also simultaneously. Okay.